Once you're in that screen there in the top right, it says create. Hit create. It's going to really open up almost like a back end window. Now, here's the other thing. People go, well, what do I do? Like, how do I start this?
Is there someone to ask?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe ask Steve. Ask ChatGPT. So I say, hey, Steve, I want to create a GPT for my restaurant that does A, B, C, and D. So maybe you don't want the whole thing, but you're saying I want to tackle marketing, I want to tackle training, and I want to tackle menu innovation. Okay. So what I would do is I would go into a basic ChatGPT chat and I would say, hey, Steve, I want to create this for my restaurant. I want to create a GPT. What's the best prompt I can give it to accomplish these things? Uh-huh. And then it'll give it to you. And then you copy it. And then you put it in the prompt. This is Restauranttopia. All right. Welcome back to Restauranttopia. Brian, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Is my head cut off?
No, I was just checking the camera.
Yeah, okay.
Is it mine?
No, you're good.
All right, good.
You're good. Just shiny as could be. I'm a couple days I've been lazy this week.
We both have full heads of hair, so I don't know why you don't just grow it out. But this head's built for speed, so I don't want any drag or anything like this. Like,
hey, great talk at the meeting last night. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you. I mean, the Middle-Aged Bald Guys Association was it was good. Yeah. What would our charity be?
Oh geez, Follicles Anonymous, follically challenged America. So all right, so welcome back to Restauranttopia. Brian Seitz this morning and Dave Ross. The dynamic duo.
Let's do it. Yeah, we got Anthony. Is he traveling the world or is he on sabbatical? Where is he at?
No, he's not on sabbatical. He's got some things going on. And, we will welcome him back in due time.
Well, I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brian, I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind. I recorded something in the car, just prepping the audience for this to come out.
Okay.
And this is about AI.
So, I have not heard of this. Is this new?
This is new.
Okay.
Yeah, this is new. And you'd be surprised.
Oh, a lot of news on this?
There's a lot of news.
Okay, I think the term they use is buzz. A lot of buzz on this?
I don't know. I think it's more than buzz.
Okay, all right.
It's more than buzz.
So it's not a fad or...
No, this is not a fad. In fact, I think Gary Vee said recently on social media, he said, you're either going to put your head in the sand or grab a surfboard and ride the greatest wave since the internet.
It will be.
Yeah.
I cannot believe on how much I use AI in my daily life right now.
Yeah.
And now I'm shifting to designing agents and figuring out a way to have AI bring me reports and financials and different things that I would maybe wait 45 days for, that I can get in real time with real time analysis.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, and I think there's some, I think there's with like any technology or something that's this big, like I look at this as like, remember how like unbelievable the QR code was?
Oh, huge.
When they came out, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, and the QR codes there's still a place for them.
Yeah.
Still like the QR code menu. I still like that.
I'm not a fan, but go ahead.
I still like the QR code menu.
Yeah.
It's not quite a billboard, but I do enjoy a QR code menu. But this is the next revolution. This is the next, we're right in the middle of it. It's happening so fast. So when I think about this, I agree with you. Personally, I've done this for a while. And this is what I suggest to our listeners as we're talking about this, because there's probably two different camps listening. There's people that are on board, they're actively using it. And there's people that have whatever it may be, privacy issues, just basic technology. This is going to take over the world. I'm not going to participate. And this God, running our lives in the future. There's all those things out there.
I think it's the reluctancy to learn something new. And I will say, this is here to stay. You need to figure this out. You need to be not just aware of this, but to be using it. I want to give an example. Everyone knows what Google is. It's become, I Googled it. There will be companies like that will be household names.
Sure.
That are happening right now. And you need to be ahead of this.
Yeah.
So I really encourage everyone to download an AI on your phone.
Right.
whether that's ChatGPT or Google's, Claude, what have you.
Yeah, right. Grok or whatever Elon's doing.
Oh, well, yeah. All right, you're ahead of me. Microsoft has Copilot,
which is basically ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think so. Depending on what camp you're in, I'm going to give some real use case scenarios for restaurants. Because listen, that's who we're talking to, restaurateurs. So at the end of the day, in my personal life, like I've really kind of almost eliminated Googling anything. Even though, listen, Google has its AI feature that it pops up and shows you that, but I've downloaded ChatGPT on my phone. It's on my laptop, it's on my phone, and I really don't Google anymore. I've kind of forced myself to put the question into ChatGPT, and then you learn how to prompt, you learn how to feed it, you learn, but we're going to go over some things that you can use this for in your restaurant, and some easy things to get started if you're a little bit nervous. But also things that are super powerful to get you going. So,
and even if you have staff that is doing certain tasks, and I don't know if you're going to go here with this, but like,
I'm going to go wherever you take me.
Yeah, no, all right, well, all right, buckle up. You can design a request for your staff member to do a task very detailed, and the direction and the guidance that you're going to give them in 10 minutes that would have taken you much, much longer is going to be fantastic. So when you say, hey, create some social media posts, that's good. You are leaving it up to their artistic impression or artistic whatever to execute that, versus working with ChatGPT or an AI and saying, all right, design a social media a campaign for me over the next 6 weeks for this restaurant. Here's my content. Here's the stuff. And it basically has a good framework, and then draft me an email to my social media person to do that.
Right.
Then there's no confusion. They are appreciative because they have direction and some guardrails as far as what you want, and you really understand the time commitment and what it looks like.
Yeah, and for those of you that are concerned with privacy, this is another. And again, I've been very bullish on Gary Vee lately because I think he's spot on with what's going on.
Yeah.
He all these companies. How many companies already have our stuff? Like it's unbelievable. Like how many companies, they got your social security number, they've got your address, they've got your wife's name, they've got your phone number. They've got everything. There's no privacy.
No.
It's like it's the person that says like, well, I won't get an Alexa in my house, because it's invading privacy. But they got Siri running on their phone right in front of them, all day long. So this stuff is happening. And the fact that nothing catastrophic has happened. And this is taking this from Gary Vee. The fact that nothing catastrophic has happened with this massive amount of information tells you that the world is a good place for the most part. We're all focused on.
And you're not a head of state. Let's not confuse. It's like if someone wants to use data to target you and hurt you, nation states and people can do that.
And guess what? You're in the restaurant business. Your menu's right on the table that everybody can see anyways. The playbook's right there. The pricing. They could buy the stuff, take it home, weigh it. I mean, it's all there. The playbook's there. So let's relax on that. Let's try to ease into this. I'm going to give you some simple things to hopefully get started.
And I'll tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
If you got a problem with privacy or security with AI, ask AI what they would do to, or what it would do, or I don't know how. What did we say?
Yeah.
What AI would do?
Mine's Steve. I don't know about
what AI would do to help you protect your privacy.
Yeah. No question.
So don't think everything is a barrier.
Right.
If there's a barrier, figure out what it is and try to get around it.
Because there's going to be restaurants that are going to use this, and they're going to pass you up in certain regards. So let's jump into this. So
all right, let's do it.
I think the easiest thing to start with is menu engineering. Can you give ChatGPT, or we'll just call it AI. I don't want to promote any particular platform
because it doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't. It really.
And this is
doesn't,
going to be evergreen because no matter what the major player is, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, dealer's choice, right?
Yeah.
So how do you analyze your menu? Like normally you would run your POS, and then you would probably put it in Excel, and you'd sort it, and you'd spend. You've done menu engineering. This is a daunting task, and it's really the reason why a lot of restaurants probably don't do it as often. Yeah. Because it's time, it's tedious. Doing food costing, doing all that stuff. So to be able to put your top selling items in there, put the PMIX in there, have it explain to you non-emotionally what you should do with the menu based on the sales and what people are doing.
And it's not always going to be right. That's where you have to use your X amount of years of experience to say, all right, I agree with this, or I don't agree with it. But you're interacting with a lot of data, and it's usually spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is a lot, but you have to be careful. You still have to think. You can't you can't just do it and be a dummy and assume everything's, I mean, you have to still put your experience into it. I agree with you.
I'll give you an example. If you put a contract into AI and, summarize this contract, it may or may not miss things. If you ask it a legal question, it may or may not get it correct.
Sure.
So I would still, reach out to a lawyer, and I'm not trying to say, hey, you got to have a lawyer, but I've seen it be absolutely wrong. And one pitfall that I've seen that it really doesn't tell you, there's a difference between a PDF that was converted from a Word document into a PDF and the character recognition versus something that was scanned.
Scanned, right.
So that AI is not going to do as good a job reviewing that document if it's scanned versus converted.
Well, and I would tell you, like, I'm a little more optimistic. I would tell you, like, right now, by the time this episode drops, it may be doing it better. You know what I mean? Because this is like, when I just look at like what I used it for a couple months ago and what it's doing now, it's moving so fast that every minute that you're not using this to help your business,
correct,
you're missing it.
You're losing. I agree.
Yeah. So menu engineering, simple prompt. If you uploaded your PMIX, which items are the highest margin this week and should be promoted? Which items are dogs and I need to consider maybe taking off the menu and cleaning up. If you uploaded your order guide and your pricing and your PMIX, you could actually go through and say, okay, what based on profit, based on all those things, like what should I be doing? It's really it's like a valedictorian from Cornell University in hospitality. And you should have no shame and no hesitation asking it whatever you want to ask it. Versus maybe I'm a little bit maybe I'm scared to ask Brian because I'm gonna look dumb. Versus asking AI.
Well, I love using it for this. Go through, whether it's in the car and you're using the voice prompt, go through the issue you're having with AI and then go talk to an expert. You will be so much further ahead.
Yeah, no, I love that. So you could use it for staff training, creating SOPs. We've had, how many episodes have we had about SOPs you brought up? Like, how much easier is it to do an SOP?
It is beyond easy.
It's beyond easy. And I'm going to go into a little bit later, and you mentioned earlier creating an agent so that it actually works within your framework of what you want to do and your knowledge, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But inventory management, just customer service. Like, I've had a lot of conversations lately with restaurateurs that, maybe it's a pizza shop or a high like telephone volume operation, to have AI actually answering the calls. That they can relieve those people. And there's plenty of companies out there. I suggest you do your due diligence, but there's plenty of companies out there doing AI, for answering the phone, taking the orders. This is something you got to get on. So just customer service in general, reservations, marketing. If you're not doing a newsletter, you're not doing an email, maybe you're not doing social media great. Like, this is something that makes it super easy. I've got a personal project that, I've been working on that I used to spend maybe like 5-6 hours a week, like doing. I'm down to 90 minutes, an hour most times, just through, using AI.
And it got better.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't get worse.
Yeah, it wasn't like I saved the time and the quality went down. Like, it actually was the reverse. Yeah. It was faster and been better. No question. Yeah. You can use it for special ideas. You can upload, I was talking to somebody the other day, if you upload even a screen, like even like a, just your menu, if you uploaded your menu and then uploaded the order guide, you could actually have AI give you weekend features and special ideas based on what you already have in the restaurant. Pretty cool, right? I mean,
no longer do you have to go to CIA to figure out a great appetizer or or a special that you could have on the menu.
Yeah. No question.
And you can give AI your current menu and say, hey, is there a protein that I can inject into this to make a special? What would that recipe be without me having to order any new items?
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah, no question.
And all of a sudden now you have an item on your menu or an item on your specials list that has $20 of gross profit.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. And there should be no emotion around it. You know what I mean? Like, it'll do whatever you ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and it's going to do what
Faster and better.
Yeah, but what a computer would do.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. No, you still need, still need your, like you said, you still need your experience, your flair, your personality. But again, as this gets better and it's already doing it, it's going to learn your personality. It's going to learn your flair. It's going to learn who Brian is as an operator, So there's a lot of things. And so think about, I would challenge you to think about the things that either you're not doing in your restaurant that you should be doing. Like, okay, I just put this off. I'm not doing it. Maybe start with something like that, or something that is a time suck. It's taking up a bunch of time. It's tedious. How do you use AI to make that smoother and faster?
In my own personal life, that is where I'm focusing.
Yeah.
What are the things that are time sucks that, again, they either fall behind or they're just, they're not getting done, like I'd like them to.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Just the speed, the ability to get things done quicker. It's happening.
Yeah, no question. So I want to move on to what you talked about, kind of like an agent, or what I'm calling in ChatGPT. It's basically you're creating a custom GPT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're using ChatGPT, on the left-hand side of the menu when you log in, I think about halfway up it says GPT. If you click on that, it's going to bring up a bunch of already made GPTs that people have made and made public. Okay, if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to create something and make it public, all good.
All right, you're on the wrong. Like
my suggestion would be is to create your own. So once you're in that screen there, in the top right, it says create. Hit create. It's gonna really open up almost like a back end window. Now here's the other thing. People go, well, what do I do? Like how do I start this?
Oh, well, is there someone to ask?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe ask Steve. Ask ChatGPT. So I say, hey Steve, I want to create a GPT for my restaurant that does A, B, C, and D. So maybe you don't want the whole thing, but you're saying I want to tackle marketing, I want to tackle training, and I want to tackle menu innovation. Okay. So what I would do is I would go into a basic ChatGPT chat and I would say, hey Steve, I want to create this for my restaurant. I want to create a GPT. What's the best prompt I can give it to accomplish these things?
Uh-huh.
And then it'll give it to you. And then you copy it. And then you put it in the prompt.
So I'm very good. I'm very good at this part. So cut and paste.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good at that. All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So put that in there. Okay. And then what the nice thing about the creating your own GPT is that there's a whole knowledge part of it. So I call it you're really building the brain of that GPT for you and your restaurant. Okay. Yeah. So you can upload your menu, you can upload your current manuals, you can upload, your food cost, your current food costing, all the things that it should know about you and your restaurant. Maybe the backstory of why you created the restaurants, just all those things that you have.
I think that
naturally.
I think that part's super important.
Yeah.
And again, this can be something that you can train in the car. You can use the audio version of any of these agents and have a conversation and say, all right, ask me 25 questions about why I started this restaurant, what I think my theme is and what my passion is and what I want to convey to the customer and how can I make sure that feeling and message is delivered.
And listen, I'm not even that smart. Like my favorite prompt is saying, I'd like to accomplish this. Ask me the questions that you need to understand this enough so that you can give me the best way to do it. So then it rattles off all the questions and you answer them and
all you need to know is the destination.
Yeah, and I got to a point where I was like, don't ask any more questions. Like we're good. Yeah. Because it'll keep sort of like, well, okay, I did this. Now what about this? Yeah. So you can get lost in a rabbit hole. But I think to get back to the GPT part, when you create that, you're creating your own kind of ecosystem, your own brain, your own knowledge. Then anything you're doing there, because I've had people say, well, I'm in there, I upload a document that I went in the next day and it wasn't there anymore. I'd upload it again. Don't do it that way. If you're going to use this really for your restaurant, like create a GPT and make it to where you can always go back to it. It's got all the information you need. It's building and remembering everything you're doing. So, so upload that knowledge and then start using it. Like just start asking a question. Start, doing all those things. You could have I thought this was kind of cool. You could do a ask a manager. Because you can actually share the GPT with staff. So you can share it with managers, share it with staff. They can also, do it. And then if it's got training, like you could create a menu coach. You could create a ask a manager portal. You can create all these things that your staff can access.
But just, one thing that this is maybe my biggest pet peeve, and no one is really doing it well. I shouldn't say some people are doing it well, but the upsell. Are you training your staff at every customer interaction and every digital interaction with the customer to upsell.
Right. Yeah.
That person is in your restaurant. Are you asking them, would they like dessert? Or how are you pitching the dessert?
Right.
Or the coffee? Or the appetizer?
Right.
Or, I'm doing a telephone order. Obviously, you want to go through the website if possible, but if they're doing a telephone order, is that person asking them, hey, have you tried our jalapeno poppers?
Right.
They're not the disgusting blue box ones. We make them special here.
Yeah, right.
They're amazing, and they travel well. Like, no, not gonna say they travel well, but they if it's just a go meal, that's what you want to do.
Sure.
So those are the sorts of things that I think people are just missing on the granular things. I don't have the time. My dishwasher, no call, no show.
Right.
All the things that we give excuses to. How can you use it and really supercharge your revenue?
Yeah, no question. So I think once you create that GPT, like, have at it. Just have fun, ask it a lot of questions, be liberal with it, I would say. I think some things to avoid, is, don't automate things in the beginning. Don't have things directly uploaded, like only upload what you want to give it. When you start attaching it to emails and attaching it to POS and attaching it to where it's automatically grabbing that information, that concerns me a little bit, because it's almost, you have to treat it like a living, breathing thing. So once it's in your system, it's in your system, So it's almost like giving a person access to your stuff. I wouldn't be as comfortable with that, but as long as you're able to just kind of upload, as you go.
So I got a cool story about basically putting guardrails on the agent that you create. I'm talking to a guy, and they do telephone, basically AI agents. So you have a business, and they did a flower shop, and they were giving an example of this flower shop using just a demo. So the guy actually did it, and the next day went to the flower shop. So they're like, hey, what kind of flowers do you want? Great. What's your credit card? Okay, great. We took your order. All right. Here's the address. We're gonna text you the address. Wait in this parking spot, and someone will bring your order out to your car. So he does everything. It's interacting with them the whole time. It's following up. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. And he's like, yeah, I did. I tested it, and no one came out with my flowers. And the guy's like, oh shit! We didn't realize it worked too good. It worked too good, yeah. And so it's like, unless you said, all right, remind the person at the end that this is a demo,
right,
and this isn't real, but person wanted to test it,
yeah.
But it was literally just a demo, a dummy site, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what all these things will do. They will take a life of their own on. So be careful on what you're feeding it, and making sure that you're monitoring it, and you're going back to it, and you're interacting with it, and you're seeing what data it is pulling.
Yeah. And if you are using ChatGPT, it's OpenAI they named it OpenAI for a reason. It's an open coded thing. So there is some settings. If you go into the settings, you can turn off whether you're sharing kind of with the community or keeping your stuff within, and all those things. So
and don't listen to us. Go into AI and ask it.
Yeah.
Hey, how do I make this private? I'm using this for my personal business.
Right.
I want it to be powerful, but I also don't want to share, my vendor pricing or something like that.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So what are some action steps we can take from here? First of all, if you're not using it at all, get it on your phone. Start using it personally. Get to know it a little bit. When you feel comfortable, I would say if you're going to use it for your restaurant, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, get in there, figure out the right prompt to start the GPT, and get it rolling.
Create a alarm on your phone to remind you, because I think all this is habit.
Yeah.
And I'm in the habit now.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I may be in full-blown addiction with AI. I may not be a what do they call a social user of AI.
Yeah, right.
You put an alarm on your phone, and so every day at 3:00 that you use
it for something.
Use it for 5 minutes, or just something to kind of get that in your head.
I would agree with that.
I'm gonna start using it. Make it an automatic tab that opens up on your browser. That's what I'm doing. So I think that's really important to just get in the habit.
And that's a good thing. I did the same thing personally. I created it as my home screen, so whenever the browser pops up, it's the first thing that pops up. And then for me, I pushed myself to, every time I would go to Google, I don't know how many times I would open up Google and then go, oh, open up my ChatGPT app and then do that. So then it just became a habit where I don't even go to Google anymore.
It's muscle memory, but it will make you superhuman.
Yeah. So we'll leave some. You're going to leave some stuff in the show notes. Some different things that are, apropos to restaurants. Some of our other use cases.
And we'll put some cool prompts in there to kind of give you like where you can just cut and paste out of that and to kind of get you moving on this. To, hey, I have 2 units. This unit is in Lakewood, Ohio, and it never had a proper grand opening. Mm-hmm. What are the things I can do to make sure that the community knows about me and drive traffic?
Yeah.
We'll make it obviously better than that. But
or I'm in Lakewood and I'm doing really good. This is my sales. I have another location in Cleveland Heights that I'm looking at. Yeah. Here's the address. Like, can you compare these demos and tell me? I mean, everything, guys, listen, everything that you've done for years and years and years running restaurants, this will make it better.
Well, I love that. Comparing the demos, but also there's just other data sets that it's able to pull that you don't even know about. Right. And I think it's going to go, it's going to go so far into predicting on what your sales should be that you can actually put into ChatGPT. I've shared some of these in the past, but my weekly pro forma where you got, this is your projected sales, this is your projected revenue, this is your projected food cost, what it should be, but you're going to be able to overlay holidays, weather, like it already knows the weather for the next 10 days.
No question.
Or is Wednesday going to be a phenomenal to-go day because of the weather? Right. And what does that look like? Yeah. Or should you close early because there's a snowstorm coming? Like that's be cautious of that. It'll remind you of that. Yeah. So there is a lot of data out there. How are you reviewing it? How are you getting actionable steps that you can take to improve your business, improve your bottom line? So I love this, Dave. This is great.
No question. Yeah. Yeah. And by no means we're experts, but please reach out. Anything we can help with. If you guys are just getting in this and this is getting your gears turning a little bit, like, listen, tag us on social media. We'd love to hear the story of you tried this prompt, you did this. Like, it takes a community to do these things.
Well, and that's what I really want to hear. I want to hear people that are using it and like, oh my God, this changed my life. I was not doing this and this saved me 2 hours. Or I was doing this and this saved me 2 hours a week or something like that. So I think it's really cool.
Success stories would be awesome. So reach out to us on our social and go to restauranttopia.com to check out this episode and the show notes and everything else. So
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.